Ladies, I'm here tonight on this show. How's everybody doing tonight, ladies and gentlemen? On a Saturday. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So we're gonna talk about some. I think we're gonna start the day with some college. No, I think we're gonna start out with some NFL, and then we're gonna work ourselves around college football, and then some basketball, baseball, and then into wrestling. All right, ladies and gentlemen. All right. So let's start off this puppy. Let's get it going with the NFL news. Excuse me. So a bunch of injuries to report. Jacksonville Jaguars receiver St. Jones listed as questionable for Sunday due to ankle injury, is expected to play versus the Eagles. Buccaneers are optimistic that wide receiver Chris Godwin hamstring and Julio Jones knee, both listed as questionable, both will be able to play Sunday night versus the Chiefs. Tampa Bay wants to test both pregame, make sure per sources. That's going to be a huge game, ladies and gentlemen. I cannot wait for that game. Super Bowl rematch from last year. Buccaneers versus Chiefs, both coming off a loss. That's a very hard game to pick, ladies and gentlemen. Who's going to lose 2 straight games? Is it going to be Tom Brady or Patrick Mahomes? That's a very good ball game. They'll play the best 2 games of the night, man. Buffalo, Baltimore, and Kansas City, Tampa Bay. I cannot wait for 2 of those games, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. Buffalo wide receiver Gabe Davis, ankle, and tight end Dawson Knox, hip injury. Both listed as questionable for Sunday. Both are expected to play. Ravens per sources. That's going to be another good ball game, man. Hopefully the teams, all 4 teams in those 2 matchups, the Buffalo, Baltimore, and then Kansas City, Tampa Bay, hopefully those 4 teams are super healthy, man, honestly. Cardinals wide receiver Marquise Brown hamstring and wide receiver Ronald Moore hamstring, both listed as questionable for Sundays. Both are expected to play versus the Panthers. All right, Panthers Christian McCaffrey listed as questionable for Sunday due to a thigh injury. Is likely to play. Yeah, Christian McCaffrey's also in the injury report, man. Bears rookie 3rd-round pick Valius Jones, who missed Chicago's first 3 games and listed as questionable for Sunday due to a hamstring injury, expected to make his NFL debut. Right, Bears getting the rookie, man. And then here we go. We got some. We got a new rule, man. The freaking the NFL and the NFL Player Association are now working to modify concussion protocols, and they anticipate changes in the coming days. They released a statement tonight. NFL Player Association and NFL soon are expected to agree to a new protocol in which anytime a player demonstrates any instability and he is not allowed to return to the game, the rule could go into effect as fast as week 5. But obviously, this is coming what happened with Tua Tagovailoa on Sunday and then on Thursday. So NFL looking for a new rule where if you're wobbly at all, you're having problems. I think they call it drunk punch when you're like on spaghetti legs, you're automatically going to be taken out of the game. And by the way, the guy got fired. The doctor that examined Tua Tagovailoa on Sunday is now fired. It's very crazy what's going on with that situation, man. Unbelievable, man. But let's get with some more injuries. Chiefs wide receiver Marquez Valdez has a abdominal injury, but he does plan to play versus the Buccaneers. Wide receiver DJ Chark is out Sunday for the Lions, and so is DeAndre Swift and Amon-Ra St. Brown. Damn. The Detroit has some injuries, man. Detroit does have injuries. Jesus Christ, man. And Jameis Winston officially will not play, so Andy Dalton will make his debut with the New Orleans Saints, who honestly, I think Andy Dalton might be a better quarterback than Jameis Winston. We'll see. I wouldn't be surprised if he plays well. They keep him as a starter for the rest of the year, honestly, man. Honestly. The Giants signed former Cowboy linebacker Jalen Smith to the active roster. All right. Cole Beasley will once again be active for tomorrow's game. They still don't know, like I said, about Chris Godwin and Julio Jones. Obviously, Mike Evans will be activated after serving that 1-game suspension. So they're at least going to have Cole Beasley, Mike Evans, and Scotty Miller. We'll see if they get the other 2, man. And this is, like I said, the unaffiliated nutrition involved in the clearing Dolphins Tua Tagovailoa during Sunday's game against the Bills has been fired after it was found he made several mistakes in his evaluation. Now, did he make several mistakes, or did they skip a lot of the steps to get Tua Tagovailoa back in the game? That's where you scratch your ass and you don't even have handroids. I think they skipped a bunch of steps, and that's why he had to get fired, man. Come on, man. That's bullshit, man. Neurology. I don't know how the fuck that word is. But the doctor who's in charge of concussions got fired. Jacoby Myers is out for the Patriots. Cairo Santos is out for the Bears. And Michael Bolgi will be their kicker for this game. Myles Garrett will not play after suffering the car accident on Monday. He is officially out. Remember, it was said that he was going 65 miles per hour. And he ended up getting a ticket for that too, Myles Garrett. And, yeah, man. He's got a bunch of speeding tickets. Apparently, on back-to-back days, once he got back-to-back tickets for going 100 miles per hour. So this guy, man, better learn his lesson, man. And that's about it, man. That's about it. So just a bunch of injury reports. And then apparently they're going to come up with that new rule that if you're, like I said, punch drunk and spaghetti legs and you're, like, struggling to walk, they're going to automatically take you out of the game. All right, but that's about it with the NFL. Let's go to college football, and then we'll go back into the NBA. All right, so college football. Look, man, it's not the most exciting. There wasn't even any upsets. Right now, we still got Oregon beating Stanford 38-10. Michigan beats Iowa 27-14. Well, there's an upset, I guess. Ole Miss beats Kentucky 22-19. This is my first time I got to see Will Levis play, who is projected to be a top 3 NFL quarterback, along with C.J. Stroud and Bryce Young. He got strip sack fumbled twice when they were like in the red zone, so he definitely has some stuff to clean up when it comes to ball security. I do wonder a lot of how good their schedule is, how strong it is. So, yeah, I'm not sure about Will Levis, but we'll see, man. TCU beats the shit out of Oklahoma 55-24. Oklahoma, after starting fucking 3-0, they lost 2 in a row to Kansas State and TCU. All that shit about Brett Venables possibly being a better coach than Lincoln Riley. There, that shit goes on the toilet. Jesus Christ, man. Purdue upsets Minnesota 20-10. So I guess there were some upsets. Kansas State once again 38-28 versus Texas Tech. That quarterback, man, for Kansas State looks pretty good again, right? Did he have 116 yards, 1 touchdown, but 171 rushing yards, 3 touchdowns. He can run, man. He's Latino, right? Adrian Martinez. Yeah, but that guy's very impressive. But I don't know how good of a pocket. I mean, he seems to be more of a mobile quarterback. Like I said, he ran for 171 yards and 3 rushing touchdowns. But yeah, that guy, Adrian Martinez, man, I got my eye on him from Kansas State. Utah beats Oregon State 42-16. Alabama beats Arkansas 49-26. Bryce Young got hurt in this game. I believe he hurt his shoulder. Alabama still won. So that's something to keep an eye on. Bryce Young being hurt. Ohio State beats Rutgers 49-10. Ohio State. Jesus Christ. Oklahoma State beats Baylor 36-25. Penn State beats Northwestern 17-7. Wake Forest beats Florida State 31-21. Mississippi State beats Texas A&M. There's another upset, 42-24. Georgia beats Missouri 26-22. Georgia had a lot of problems in this game, but at the end there they won the fucking game, man. Clemson beats North Carolina State 30-20. Georgia Tech beats Pittsburgh 26-21. USC beats Arizona State 42-25. BYU beats Utah State 38-26. And UCLA beats Washington 40-32. Is UCLA undefeated? They're 5-0. So both USC and UCLA are 5-0. Pretty damn interesting, man. Pretty So all of a sudden, those teams out in LA looking good, man. With Chip Kelly in UCLA and Lincoln Riley up in USC, man. Doing much better than the Texas teams with fucking Steve Sarkisian out in fucking Texas, Austin, and fucking Jimbo Fisher out in Texas A&M. Yeah, who would have thought that the fucking California schools have better fucking coaches than the fucking Texas schools, right? Jesus Christ. But yeah, man. Georgia, man, that was right. Pendejo face for Georgia, man. They almost lost that game versus Missouri. That would have been embarrassing. Kentucky, they lose their first game. Will Mavis has some turnovers in there, some fumbles. Bryce Young gets hurt for Alabama. So some stuff happened. Some stuff went down. And we'll see what the rankings are when they come out tomorrow. We'll see who's ranked. Some people think that Georgia might lose their number one ranking to either Ohio State or Alabama. We'll see what the hell happens, ladies and gentlemen. All right, let's go back to NBA. So we got a lot of players signing extensions. The Memphis Grizzlies re-signed Steven Adams for 2 years, $25 million. So he gets extended. Larry Nance also re-signs with the Pelicans, 2 years, $21 million. Larry Nance with the Pelicans. And obviously we said yesterday about Blake Griffin signing with the Celtics. Is that about it for the NBA? I think it is. All right, let's go to MLB. What a game, right, between the fucking Braves and the Mets. Again, the fucking Mets take the early lead. The Mets went into this game, I believe, like 75-13 when they score first. And so far in this series, they are fucking 0-2. Both games have taken a 1-0 lead just for the fucking Braves to come back and win the game. That is crazy, man. Oh, man, I got a lot of heartburn. I apologize. But yeah, man, what a game that was, man. Dansby Swanson hitting the fucking home run. Oh, man, I apologize. Oh, shit. Yeah, man, fucking Escobar grounds out to get the first run. Then they scored in the fourth, tied at 1-1. Then they punched them back. Mets take the lead 2-1. And then Swanson hits that fucking freaking 2-run homer, make it 3-2. And then Olsen again for back-to-back days, both Matt Olsen and Dansby Swanson hit home runs, man. Final score 4-2. Fucking Braves win it. So the Braves are officially in first place in the fucking NL East, man. Let's see here. Shahani Atani, I think he's going to be a free agent next year. So a lot of shit about Shahani Atani. Maybe they'll trade him just like the Nationals traded Juan Soto. We'll see. Maybe they'll make him an offer in the winter, and if he doesn't sign, then they'll probably maybe try to trade him so they get him. Again, you're trading two players, right? A pitcher and a fucking hitter in one. So you better get a lot if you do trade him, especially if he tells you I don't plan to resign in 2023 when I'm a free agent. Padres beat White Sox 5-2. Yankees beat Orioles 8-0. Nationals beat Phillies 13-4. Fucking Phillies lose again, damn. Cubs beat the Reds 2-1. Blue Jays beat the Red Sox 10-0. Diamondbacks beat the Giants 8-4. Mariners beat the Athletics 5-1. Royals beat the Guardians 7-1. Tigers beat the Twins 3-2. Phillies beat the Nationals. Okay, so the Phillies won the first game at least of the doubleheader 8-2. Marlins beat the Brewers 4-3. Brewers lose. Cardinals beat the Pirates 13-3. Like I said, Braves beat the Mets 4-2. Astros beat the Rays 2-1. Angels beat the Rangers 3-2. And Dodgers beat the Rockies 6-4. Alright, standings. Yankees won their division. Guardians won their division. Astros won their division. Braves and Mets. Right now, the Braves are up by 1 game. The Cardinals won their division. The Dodgers won their division. Blue Jays, Mariners, Rays. That's pretty much the wild card. Every other team in the American League has been eliminated for wild card contention. So it's official. It will be Toronto, Seattle, and Tampa Bay that will be representing the American League in the wild card. In the National League, like I said, the loser of the NL East between the Mets and the Braves will get the first spot in the wild card. And then the Padres and the Phillies are battling it out. Like I said, I think the Padres are going to get the second spot. And then the Phillies and the Brewers battling for that final spot in the National League. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, man. All right, let me get my I didn't get the Smackdown card. Let me get that real quick so I don't miss anything on my recap. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get that Smackdown. Oh man, my stomach really hurts. I had a lot of freaking food today. Smackdown. Wait, what's today? Today's Sunday? Alright, ladies and gentlemen, hold on. Gotta get this shit going. Alright, we got it. Alright. I think there's some news first, and then we'll talk about the Smackdown. All right. Let's get this puppy going. So yesterday in the Austin Theory match, when he was on Smackdown with Kevin Owens and all those guys, the Alpha Academy and Johnny Gargano, Michael Cole mentioned somewhere in that match, I really like Austin Theory, but he could lose an attitude adjustment. So now a lot of speculation coming around. Is John Cena going to come back? Remember, John Cena, unless he fights in the next 3 months, this is going to be the first time since 2001 John Cena will not wrestle for WWE. So pretty interesting. Michael Cole said that. Maybe, are they planning something for Saudi Arabia? Because a lot of people said that it's going to happen at WrestleMania, but that's not until April. Why would Michael Cole mention that here in October? So maybe if it's Saudi Arabia, they'll do something. Who knows, man? Let's see here. So pretty much they're talking about the yesterday they scared the shit out of me because they said we have some breaking news, some sad news. Hall of Famer Antonio Odoki passed away, and no disrespect, but I thought it was gonna be like something huge. Like they never did that shit, right? They always like in the beginning of the show they do rest in peace, you know. This time they did it in the middle of the show. That scared the shit out of me. But it was some Japanese wrestler, Antonio Odoki. I'm not sure who he was, but rest in peace. But yeah, that was weird how they did it right in the middle of the show. It scared the shit out of me. I thought it was like a big star that I don't know, were passed away, like breaking news. I'm like, you know, that scared the shit out of me, ladies and gentlemen. But it was a Japanese wrestler, Antonio Odoki, rest in peace. I believe he was like the first WWE champion that was Japanese. So yeah, man, rest in peace. But yeah, that scared the shit out of me. I don't know where Michael Cole just said. I'm like, wait a minute, what? Who fucking died? Anyways, rest in peace. And then they're saying there's some legal holds up, and that's why they can't lift the suspensions from the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega. It's going to be a month. I believe October 3, it'll be a month. Yeah, but apparently there's some legal issues, I guess. I don't know what's going on. And that's why they can't lift the suspensions. Jesus Christ, man. Just let them come back already. Alright, let's do Smackdown Recap. So we started the show right away, man. Right away with a fucking match, man. Sami Zayn tagging up with Solo Sikoa versus Ricochet and Madcap Moss. Right away, right? Two fucking jobbers, right? You know what's gonna happen. You know Sami Zayn and Solo Sikoa are gonna win this match. There is some type of storyline because after what happened last week backstage, kind of low key, Ricochet and Madcap Moss were kind of making fun of Sami Zayn. Solo Sikoa comes in and fucking beats the shit out of them. So there's a little bit of backstory there, but whatever. You know, Sami Zayn and Solo Sikoa are gonna win. Fucking jobbers, Ricochet and Madcap Moss. It was a good match, you know, whatever. Obviously, Sami Zayn, Solo Sikoa won. After the match, fucking, freaking Madcap Moss is fucking ass hurt. He lost. He wants to beat the shit out of Sami Zayn. Sikoa beats the shit out of Madcap Moss. Madcap Moss looking like a pendejo, man. And then we have Karrion Kross, a video. That's all he did with Karrion Kross. I expected a little bit more from Karrion Kross on this show, but all he did was like a little video, and that was it. And then we get an interview with Austin Theory and Drew, and he's pretty much talking shit about Drew McIntyre. I don't even know why, but it turns out McIntyre's there, he's listening to him. And then you're like, oh, really? You want to talk all this shit? Let's have a fucking match. So it's a match between Austin Theory and McIntyre. And then that fucking match, they have it, and everybody comes. It's a disqualification. Drew McIntyre wins. The Alpha Academy interferes. And then Kevin Owens and Johnny Gargano. Turns out they were on fucking Smackdown tonight. So they all interfere. And it made it fucking a tag team match, which would have been a 6-man match. That ended up being the fucking main event of the show. Johnny Gargano, Kevin Owens, and Drew McIntyre versus the Alpha Academy and Austin Theory. Alright, you know, whatever. Jesus Christ, ladies and gentlemen. I'm really trying to... My stomach is killing me, man. Next, we had a fucking De Lotharios versus Hit Row. I don't even remember this match, man. But I guess it was a fucking a squash match, the fucking Hit Row one. It was very fast. That's why I can't even remember what the fuck happened, man. Hit Row won pretty quickly, man. Then we get fucking Ronda Rousey versus Natalya. Again, another fucking squash match. Ronda Rousey wins. After the match, Liv Morgan comes out with a baseball bat. They get into a brawl. They got to be secured by the security. They're trying to make Liv Morgan look like a badass. Whatever. I guess they're trying, man. And next we get fucking a backstage segment. You know, Kevin Owens and Johnny Gargano and Drew McIntyre trying to get on page for their match. And then Kevin Owens says, yeah, guys, see you later, whatever. And then he runs into Sami Zayn in the locker room and in the hallway. And he's like, you need a new shirt. And obviously he's wearing the Honorary Uso shirt. A lot of people think he's going to end up tagging with Kevin Owens and being the Uso for the tag team champions. Hey, how about he tagged with Solo Sikoa? And because it seems like they're almost like, they're like in their little tag team right there. Sami Zayn and Solo Sikoa. Everybody keeps saying Kevin Owens and fucking Sami Zayn versus the Usos. What about if it's fucking Solo Sikoa versus and Sami Zayn versus the Usos? Wouldn't that be interesting, man? Jesus Christ, man. But whatever. Next, we have Imperium come out, do a promo. Kaiser and Giovanni Vincini and Gunther. Sheamus comes out and he pretty much says, hey, I'm here alone tonight. Neither Butch or Rich Holland could make it. They're stuck in Florida with the hurricane. And so Sheamus comes out with a celerity, tries to beat the shit out of all of them. Obviously, it backfires. And Gunther and the Imperium ends up beating the shit out of fucking Sheamus. I guess they're going to have a 6-man tag team match at Extreme Rules. But they're also going to have a next week on SmackDown. It's going to be once again Gunther versus Sheamus on a one-on-one match for the Intercontinental Championship. Jesus Christ, man. I wonder, I don't know, man, because Gunther is undefeated, man. I know Sheamus is really over right now with the crowd, but oh man, I don't know if it's especially not only because you don't want to take the title away from Gunther, it's because also he's undefeated, man. I don't know. I think it's kind of a little bit of an unpopular decision, but I think they're gonna probably have Gunther win again, man. I don't think they're ready to have Gunther lose, especially lose his first match. So we'll see what they do next week for that, man. Bayley again. Shit. She's out there alone too. Shotzi and Dakota Kai, and Io Sky, same thing. They're stuck in Florida with the hurricane. It was kind of funny how like all the factions, were short-handed, right? Bayley was up there by herself without Solo Sikoa. I mean, without Io Sky and Dakota Kai. Same thing with Sheamus. He was up there with Bush and Rich Holland. It was kind of funny how like all the groups were there alone. And then I didn't see Jimmy. It was funny because you saw Jey Uso, but you didn't see Jimmy Uso. So I wonder if Jimmy Uso was also not there because he was stuck. But it was kind of funny. I thought how all the groups were the ones that were stuck, right? But Bayley had to match with Shotzi. Obviously Bayley wins. But at the end, what was interesting, man, fucking Bianca Belair shows up, and she tries to put Bayley through the fucking. They're gonna have a ladder match, so she tries to put Bayley through the ladder. At the last second, Bayley escapes. But yeah, pretty interesting. They had all these Raw people on there, man. Bayley, Bianca Belair, Johnny Gargano, the Alpha Academy, Kevin Owens. Pretty damn interesting, man. And then the whole night you had a backstage segment where Maxine Dupree was trying to get the Mel Maximum models to break the posing record, which was like 3 minutes or something. And they kept getting interrupted the whole night, by various people. And then at the end, they're finally gonna do it. They're like fucking 3 seconds away from breaking the record. And then fucking Max Dupree comes up and I'm tired of this shit. Unless you're gonna win fucking titles, I don't give a shit about records like these. And he pretty much, I think he throws like his belt at them, like his fucking pants belt. And he just fucking says, I was never born for this anyway. So a lot of people have been teasing, right, that he's gonna go back to LA Knight. Maybe now he will, man. Maybe now he will. They've been doing this a lot lately. You have Butch is slowly transforming back into Pete Dunne. You have Nikki Ash taking her mask off the other night. Maybe is she gonna go back to Psycho Nikki Cross? A lot of guys are kind of teasing slowly they're gonna go back to their former character before Vince McMahon switched them up. So we'll see what happens there, man. But then we have the fucking, I'm gonna have to sit back down, man. Every time I stand up, my stomach starts hurting. I don't know why. It's weird. We have the fucking tag team match for the main event. Austin Theory and the Alpha Academy versus Johnny Gargano and Drew McIntyre and Kevin Owens. Good match, I guess, whatever. I thought Karrion Kross was gonna come in and screw with McIntyre, right? But like I said, other than that video package he did, Karrion Kross didn't do shit in this show. I don't know if same thing he couldn't make it. He was stuck in Florida with the hurricane, and that video they did in the beginning was already pre-recorded. So I thought for sure, even at the end there with fucking when Kevin Owens and Drew McIntyre and Gargano win, they have at the end there Drew McIntyre pull out the strap and starts beating them up with the strap. But yeah, no Karrion Kross. No Karrion Kross at all, man. He must have been stuck in Florida too with the hurricane. It was an okay show, I guess. Pretty interesting how they had all the Raw people there. Kevin Owens, Johnny Gargano, Bayley, Bianca Belair, the Alpha Academy. Pretty interesting. Maybe this is something that they'll start doing now, especially when Roman Reigns is not going to be on the show. They're like, okay, well, maybe Ronda Rousey's like the star for the woman, and McIntyre can be like the star for the man. But like I said, I feel like when McIntyre's there alone, it feels like Dwayne Wade when he was in Miami by himself. But then when Roman Reigns comes in, then it feels like when either LeBron or Shaq were with him in Miami. He's a very good secondary star, but not a main. He's not that good of a star to be like the face of the show by himself. So maybe this is a way to try to make the show better with bringing in these Raw guys. Like I said, especially the weeks that Roman Reigns is not going to be there. I'm starting to see like a pattern with Roman Reigns where it's almost like he's there almost every other week, which I guess I don't mind that. It still kind of sucks. Like I said, you have no champion on Raw, and then your SmackDown champion is part-time. But lately it seems like he's showing up a little bit more. Right now it's kind of hard because his next match is not until November 5. So it's kind of hard right now to really do anything for that match. When especially they got a pay-per-view coming up this week. But actually I think they're going to have both Logan Paul and Roman Reigns on next week's SmackDown. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, it's an alright show. I think maybe out of the Imperium talking for a little bit, nobody really had any microphone work. It was almost the match from the start with Sami Zayn and Solo Sikoa versus Ricochet and Madcap Moss. It was just match after match after match after match. No microphone time. It was really a wrestling show, man. A bunch of wrestling you saw today. Other than maybe some of the backstage segments, there was not a lot of talking in this show. It was mostly fucking wrestling. So yeah, man, I thought it was an okay show. Like I said, I think if I would have had to pick a show this week, I think Raw was the best show out of all three. What Raw, SmackDown, and Dynamite. I don't know, man. I feel like I don't know how much of the Hurricane you can give excuse for Dynamite and SmackDown. It was reported that the only two guys they really planned to use that they couldn't use were Samoa Joe and Swerve Strickland for Dynamite. And then for Raw, sure, you were missing like guys like Jimmy Uso. Who knows if you would have had Jimmy Uso that you'd do something with the Usos. Io Sky's Dakota Kai. I don't know. I'm sure that's what they plan to do something huge. Difference is probably if you have Butch and Rich Holland there. They probably do something. That was probably the one that they really had to adjust, right? The whole segment with Sheamus and Gunther and Imperium. They were probably thinking of doing something a lot different, and they had to make the adjustment because Butch and Rich Holland couldn't make it. But I don't know these two shows, Dynamite and SmackDown, how much they were really affected by the hurricane. They got all their main stars there, right? Like I said, either McIntyre, Ronda Rousey. They've been borrowing people from Raw. Same thing, Dynamite, Jon Moxley, Bryan Danielson, Chris Jericho. They were all there. But yeah, man, best show of the week goes to Monday Night Raw. And that's hard to say. Until next time, I'm like a light. Thank you for watching.